So the Giants lost tonight, and not only do they lose, they always lose in ways that just rips your heart out. Like in a way where you think like, okay, like we're up 2 possessions here. It's like the middle of the fourth quarter. We actually have a legitimate chance to win a game here in Philly. It never happens, and then of course the unthinkable happens. Travis Fulgham gets like a 60-yard catch, and then a bunch of Evan Engram drops a ball, and then Ryan Lewis, even before that, has the terrible defensive holding call after BJ Hill gets a sack, and then all momentum was lost after that play. And then, of course, the Eagles come down, wheel route to Boston Scott on Jabril Peppers. They score a touchdown, they go ahead. Giants lose 22-21. As I said on Twitter, I just wanted to erase this from my memory. I kind of want I think it's like Men in Black where they have that thing that kind of just like erases your memory. I kind of want that right now because to know that the Giants probably had, I don't know like what the actual percentage was that the Giants should have won that game, probably like a 95 or so percent chance the Giants should have won that game, and to have that outcome happen, not only is it the most typical Giants thing ever, but it's just like being a Giants fan, it's tough. I understand the Jets are bad and there's some other teams out there that are bad, but being a Giants fan is tough because they are in all these games except for that 49ers game. It seems like every single week they are in every game. They could have won week one. They could have won week two. They could have beat the Rams. They could have won. Who was the game? I'm forgetting one game, but they should have won 2 weeks ago. Whoever the hell they played. I don't even know who it was. Oh, Dallas? Yes, Dallas. They lost by 3. You know what I mean? So many losses this year have just been decided by maybe a couple plays, and then stupid crap like this happens every single week. And the Giants are a team that, as I've said, don't know how to win games. Now, they found out a way to do it last week. They barely did it, but they won, which was great. But Washington is a terrible team. And tonight was a game where I thought a lot of good things happened. I thought Daniel Jones, overall, not the whole game, but for a lot of the game, played his best game of the year. I thought Jason Garrett was okay at times. He had a drive in there that was like 17 plays and like 95 or 97 yards or something it was towards the fourth quarter, or maybe it was the third quarter or fourth quarter, but still there were a lot of positives in this game. And even a guy like, Jabril Peppers was playing well at one point until that last play. Guys like that were playing well. And then the defensive line they were playing well for the Giants. So a lot of positives from this game. Bradbury gets another interception. And then what do you know? The Giants just have a complete collapse in the final couple minutes or so. And it's like, you know what? We've seen this movie many times. It's kind of expected at this point. But at what point do the Giants go from a team that doesn't know how to win to finally learning how to close out these games? I know they're young. They're one of the youngest rosters in the league. But based on the games they've been in this year, and even in the situations where they have leads and blow them late, they have to find a way to figure out how to win these games. And I hope it happens next year, maybe. I don't know if it'll happen this year, later in the year, but there's been too much of this. We're losing by 1 point, 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, and we just find a way to lose every single week. I like the fact that we're in a lot of these games and it's not embarrassing losses. That's great, but I'm kind of over the moral victory stuff. We're in week 7 now. I kind of want to win games here. This was a game that at some point in the third quarter, even in the early fourth quarter, in my heart, I kind of felt the best way about the Giants that I have in years. I'm like, okay, this team we're actually rebuilding for once, which I like. Daniel Jones is playing his best game of the year. The offensive line was up and down for sure. Andrew Thomas once again struggled, but everyone else, I think, for the most part, did okay in this game. And the defense is playing well still for the most part. And then, of course, once I start feeling really good about this team, they just find a way to bring me back down to earth and realize what type of team the Giants actually are. Now, I don't think that they're a bottom 3 team in this league anymore, but the Giants are still a bottom 10 team in football, I have to be honest. So they are competitive, which I like. That's great, but they don't know how to win games yet. And I don't know what the missing piece is. We have a long stretch of not playing. I think the Giants are off for 11 days now. They don't play till Monday against Tampa, which is another reason tonight would have been a great reason to win, because now it's 11 days of harping on this loss. To be in a position to be that many days off and be tied for first place in the NFC East would have been great, but now the Giants sit at 1-6, I believe it is. So, yeah, just a couple plays in this game. If they went a different way, if Evan Engram catches that ball if Boston Scott doesn't hold on to that crazy wheel route play, if Ryan Lewis doesn't have the defensive holding, the Giants might be the ones tied for first place. And we look at this in a much different fashion. But of course, as I said, the Giants just don't know how to win. Do I know why? I don't know. I think because they're young, and maybe it's because it's a new offensive coordinator and things like that. But, it's really, it's a game of inches. Like, that's really the answer to this. Like, the Ryan Lewis play, it killed them, and everyone points to the Evan Engram play. That killed them as well. And I tweeted out that play for Engram, if you've been a Giant fan for a little while, was the same exact thing as like Wes Welker in the 2011 Super Bowl, where if he made that catch with I think like 4 minutes left, maybe 3 minutes and change, the Giants had a one timeout at that point. If Wes Welker made that catch, the Patriots might have won Super Bowl 46, and it's a game of inches. And once again, Evan Engram, he drops that ball tonight with I think 2 minutes left or something like that. If he makes that catch, Giants probably win this game. I mean, they're going to get at least a field goal out of that, so it's just a game of inches. I don't know if the Giants don't know how to win. It's just they have to execute better, and tonight was an example of not executing the right way. So, as we always do, I'll get into the game. I made a lot of notes in this game, so we'll try and get through this relatively quickly. It is late here, so I'll try to. We'll start in the first quarter. General note, Devontae Downs was starting this game, did play a lot. I think David Mayo was mixed in there, but for the most part, Devontae Downs was playing a lot, and he actually was not that bad. Like, usually I'm kind of like not on his side. I think he's not played well this year when he was in there, especially early on. Then Tay Crowder came in, but now that Crowder's hurt, Downs gets another chance, and actually was pretty good in this game for the most part. So to start off, the Eagles got the ball first. A couple of Deshaun Jackson plays that went for like 10 yards or so. Carson Wentz had a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 1 that got stopped by Jabril Peppers. Nice play by him. Then on 4th and 1, Wentz scrambled for a first down. Dalvin Tomlinson encroachment penalty. Richard Rodgers, who had like 80-something yards in this game, of all people. Like, he's a third-string tight end, former Packer who was never that great. And then Richard Rodgers comes in here and puts up like 80, 90 yards on the Giants. It's crazy. So he had a 17-yard catch over the middle. No one was on him. They get down to the 2-yard line. Wentz runs a read option, scores a touchdown. Philly up 7-0. The Giants, they had defensive holding on Slayton versus Slay, the Darius Slayton versus Darius Slay matchup. Giants had an illegal pick play. That was kind of a killer on 3rd and 3 with Caden Smith. He did it more than a yard downfield. I think I don't know if it was Evan Engram or Shepard. I forget who it was, but he got somebody open. He was short anyway, but still, it would have been nice to have 4th and inches rather than being pushed back to 3rd and 13. So Joe Judge did a nice thing here. He tried to run on his punt team very late. The Eagles got confused, and Corey Ballantyne was open. There was no gunner on him, so like really Riley Dixon could have just hiked the ball and thrown it to him, but Ballantyne was not paying attention and wasn't looking at Dixon, so of course that didn't happen. So that's a missed opportunity right there. Where are we at? So Peppers, there was a coverage sack, Jabril Peppers, and I think Cam Brown was in on it. They had a sack on Carson Wentz. Then the Giants take over at the Eagles' 39-yard line. First play out of that, Golden Tate, 39-yard touchdown. I thought he did a great job of creating some type of separation there, fighting for that ball. Daniel Jones laid it out very nicely. The Giants tied that game at 7. There were a couple of Boston Scott plays that gained about 25, 30 yards on the next drive. Bradbury had a missed tackle on Corey Clement, and it should have been like a 2nd and 16. That made it a 2nd and 8. Carson Wentz had an intentional grounding that made it 2nd and 26, and Devontae Downs was in his face. Good job by him. Then Richard Rodgers has a 16-yard catch. Greg Ward has a 14-yard catch. On 3rd and 10, they get a first down. Dalvin Tomlinson, when they were in the red zone, knocked down a pass, which was big. I feel like there was an angle route for Boston Scott where he might have scored, so Dalvin Tomlinson may have saved the touchdown there. And then Julian Love had a pass breakup on Deshaun Jackson, who got injured later. We'll go over that. Jake Elliott makes a field goal, makes it 10-7 Eagles. Then there was a 3rd and 5 conversion to Sterling Shepard. Engram had a catch for 17 yards, and I wish he did it later because that would have been nice. Then there was an interception off of Evan Engram's hands. I mean, you can say maybe the ball was thrown a bit too hard, but Evan Engram's going to catch that ball. You can't have that pop up and be intercepted. You cannot have that worst case scenario. But that was all right because the Giants answered next drive with a Bradbury interception in the red zone. He's been great. I mean, he had that pass interference in the 4th quarter, which was not good. But Bradbury, once again, for the most part, it might have been like one of his off games this year, but I think for the most part, played pretty well in this game once again. And he had an interception in the red zone, so that's very big. Sterling Shepard, 29-yard play. There was a missed tackle in there, 29-yard catch for him. Jones got sacked on a play where Andrew Thomas and Matt Parrott, rookie combo, gave up a lot of pressure. The Giants punt at the 2-minute mark. Then Philly, they punt with 1:07 left in the second quarter. Then, of course, Dion Lewis, a guy who never fumbles the damn ball. But that was okay because, the Eagles went down. They missed a field goal for 29 yards by Jake Elliott. The Giants went in at halftime. I think it was they were down 10-7, I believe. So not too bad. The Giants go down 3 in Philly. I mean, you'll take it. Definitely not bad at all. Now we're in the third quarter. Jones gets sacked by Nathan Gary he was on Andrew Thomas. I feel like Nathan Gary is a linebacker too, so that's pretty bad, unless I'm wrong, but I think he's a linebacker, so that was not good to see. Then they had a 3-and-out on the first drive, the Giants offense. There was a 3rd-and-1 stop on Boston Scott by David Mayo, so he was involved on that play. Good job by him. There was holding on Devontae Freeman. He was injured on this play. I think he hurt his ankle, they said. We'll see what the severity was, but honestly, Wayne Gallman came in and played very well for him, so we'll see what the situation is. As I said, there's 11 days off, so hopefully he has time to heal up. That made it a 3rd-and-11. There was a 3-and-out on that drive for the Giants offense. Then I think Philly once again went 3-and-out. Then Daniel Jones had the long run. It went 80-something yards. He tripped over himself, which sucked. But of course, the Giants, they scored. Wayne Gallman had the touchdown. There was pass interference before that on Evan Engram. Well, he was the receiving end of that, and then a guy had a pass interference on Evan Engram. So Wayne Gallman scored a touchdown, basically a 2-yard touchdown or something like that, maybe a 1-yard touchdown. Giants go up 14-10. So, okay, we have the lead here, middle of the third quarter. Eagles go 3-and-out. The Giants go 3-and-out. Then Greg Ward gets a 12-yard catch on a 3rd-and-1. Travis Fulgham had a big catch for 40 yards. Now we're on to the fourth quarter. There was a 4th-and-goal incomplete pass by Philadelphia. Logan Ryan, who definitely made some contact on that play, but the refs did not throw the flag, which was nice. It was on Hakeem Butler, one of the guys that a lot of Giants fans, even myself included, thought the Giants should have taken a flyer on. And Hakeem Butler is more of like a tight end now for Philly. It's kind of funny, but he's a big guy. So Logan Ryan, while it might have been a penalty, it wasn't called, so good job by you. Then for the Giants offense, Slayton had an 11-yard gain on first down. Gallman had a first down run. Jones made a really good play here. Jones escaped a sack from 2 guys basically and made a shovel pass for 7 yards to Wayne Gallman. Once again, Andrew Thomas was beat on that play. I mean, there were times where Thomas was flat out not good in this game, but Daniel Jones making it happen. I like what I saw on that play. Good job by him. There was a defensive pass interference on Golden Tate on a 3rd-and-3, made it a first down. There was a 13-yard dump-off pass to Gallman. Good read by Jones on that play. A 20-yard run by Dion Lewis, who kind of redeemed himself for that fumble there. Not completely, but still, we'll take a 20-yard run. And then Sterling Shepard had a first down catch. This was actually interesting because Doug Peterson tried to challenge this. Right when the ball was snapped, you can see the challenge flag come in from the broadcast view. And the refs kind of huddled up for a little bit, said the challenge came too late. So the Giants were given a first down, although it looked to be short. So the Giants got the benefit of the doubt there. That was nice. And Shepard had a touchdown to make it 21-10 Giants in the middle of the fourth quarter. And at that point, I'm kind of feeling myself like we really might go into Philly and win this game. But wait, there's more. It did not go that way. So the drive for the Giants was 15 plays, 97 yards, as I mentioned before. I think I said 17 plays before, but 15 plays, 97 yards. Great drive by the Giants. Honestly, probably their best drive all year. They had that great drive week 1, but that ended in the Daniel Jones interception on the 2-yard line. So, I mean, that would have been another candidate for the best drive of the year, but it did not end the same way. So we'll give it to this one. So when the Eagles got the ball back, Ryan Lewis had the illegal contact after a sack by B.J. Hill. I know everyone wants to blame Evan Engram, and rightfully so, but this was the play right here, in my opinion, that really changed the momentum of this game, because if B.J. Hill gets that sack and it goes to 2nd and 17 or 2nd and 16, whatever the loss would have been, then it goes from basically a 1st and 10 because Ryan Lewis had the holding on defense. So, I mean, this puts them basically at a disadvantage here. And if Ryan Lewis did not hold and that sack stood up, it would have been a 2nd and 16 or so, as I said. And the Giants would have had a lot of momentum on their side. But after that penalty by Ryan Lewis, it seemed like everything changed. Then the next play, I'm trying to see where I'm at now, there was a 59-yard pass to John Hightower, once again on Ryan Lewis. So he had a rough fourth quarter in this one for sure. Greg Ward had the touchdown on the by the right pylon. They were rolling to his Wentz is rolling to his right, hit Greg Ward for a touchdown. 2-point conversion, no good. Dexter Lawrence got in on that play to stop the run. I think it was Carson Wentz going for a quarterback draw. Dexter Lawrence made a play. Giants get the ball back. Wayne Gallman, a 14-yard run. Gallman then followed it up with a 10-yard run. Then, of course, Evan Engram had the drop, which was a great throw by Daniel Jones. Hit him in stride. arms were out, hit him in both of his hands, and of course, guy dropped it. And as I said, I don't know why the Giants can't win games and why they've lost their winning ways over the years, but it just comes down to some bad execution. I feel like they're closer now than in previous years, but just when you don't execute like that on a play that important, that's what's going to happen. You're going to lose games off stuff like that. So there was also a 15-yard penalty by the Giants on the punt. So I forgot who it was. I wish I knew. I guess we'll go back and look at it, but someone got a 15-yard penalty for some like unnecessary roughness type crap after the Giants punt, after the Ingram drop, so that was not good. They come out in their last drive. Richard Rodgers has a 30-yard catch, of course, because Richard Rodgers, great tight end, can't guard that guy. Pass interference on Bradbury against Fulgham, defensive holding on Logan Ryan. Then Philadelphia has a face mask on Jason Kelce, which put them at basically, it was like a second and goal. No, was it a second goal? But basically, it was something in goal for them, but they were like 16 yards away. So they had to go a pretty long way. But I think literally on the next play, Boston Scott runs a wheel route covered by Jabril Peppers and man coverage and then give up a touchdown. It was a great throw by Carson Wentz. Sometimes you got to tip your cap to the opposing team, and I think Wentz made a great throw. Scott made a great catch. I mean, Peppers could have been better in coverage, but still, it was great ball placement there. So they go up 22-21. 2-point conversion, no good. The Giants come back with I think there was 40 seconds left or so, no timeouts. They had to get in the field goal range, which is possible with 40 seconds left to get in field goal range. The Eagles are playing some prevent defense. They try to dump one off to Ingram on the right sideline. Will Hernandez was caught for holding, which it definitely was a hold. I can't argue that. He had his whole arm wrapped around the guy's neck. Then the next play, they dump it off to Ingram, picks up 6-7 yards. And then the next play to end the game, I think it was Javon Hargrave maybe, gets a fumble on Daniel Jones, and that basically ends the game. And the Eagles take a knee, and they go to 2-4-1, I think. So yeah, congrats to you, Eagles fans. I guess congrats. I mean, it really feels like a game the Giants should have won. I mean, I really didn't expect this game to be that close. I had the score as 2013 Philadelphia. So for the Giants to come this close, and as I said, they were up 21-10 at one point, I believe it was, in the middle of the fourth quarter. Maybe mid to late fourth quarter, or mid to early fourth quarter, maybe 8-9 minutes left. But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter, there's really no excuse to lose. You're playing an Eagles team that has so many damn injuries. It's they're basically trying to let you win this game, and the Giants just found every way to beat themselves, whether it was the Ingram drop or the Lewis play or the pass interference by Bradbury and many more. Just so many dumb plays in this game that you can reflect on and say, this is why they lost and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, you guys can let me know in the comments what you think the big turning point was in this game. I personally think it's more the Ryan Lewis play. I really think that was the big momentum shifter in this game. Of course, Evan Ingram's drop was huge as well. That's basically the game right there if he catches that. But I really think the momentum changed once Ryan Lewis made that holding on defense. So I could be wrong, but I really feel like that's when things shifted, because that's when the 59-yard catch happened to John Hightower. So, yeah, I mean, we'll look at some team stats real quick. I put it in the bottom left here, I believe, for you guys, but it's kind of small. But the Giants, honestly, time of possession was not that bad. I think the Eagles won it pretty badly in the first half, but I guess it got evened out. The Giants had 2 fumbles lost, Deion Lewis, Daniel Jones. Let's see what else is important. 1 interception for each team. Both teams had 3 sacks, so that was pretty even. The Giants had 325 total yards to 442 for the Eagles. The Giants beat them pretty badly in rushing yards, 160-96. Fourth down efficiency, Eagles were 1 for 2. Third down, the Giants were 3 for 10 on third down. The Eagles were 4 for 13, not good. And the Giants had 17 first downs compared to Philly's 27 first down. So, yeah, I mean, this is a game that if the Giants somehow end up very close for a playoff spot, we'll look back on this one, and especially being a division matchup where tiebreakers are sometimes determined by divisional records, you'll look back on this one and say, yeah, they definitely should have won that game for sure. So hopefully it doesn't come down to that. And as I've said, it's too early in the season to be wanting to tank. I'm not going to tell you guys how to root for this team, but honestly, if the Giants won this game, I would have been all in for, competing for a playoff spot this year. But now I'm kind of reverting back to my old ways and kind of just having a we'll see type approach. I don't really have expectations for this team now. I mean, it kind of sucks because, as I said, in the third quarter or even the early fourth quarter when they're up 21-10, I literally felt the best about this team I have in years, and like that's a lot for me to say because like I don't want to say I'm pessimistic about the Giants, but I'm definitely realistic, and sometimes I'm like too realistic, and sometimes it might come off pessimistic if you know what I mean. But that was the first time when the Giants were up 21-10 in Philly, where I was like, wow, we might be going in the right direction here. Like I love what I've seen from Jones this game. Our defense is pretty legit, and then of course the Giants find a way to just rip my heart out and just so terrible. I'm sure I'll get some interesting comments about this one. People will overreact like crazy. Some will say it's just a tough loss, which it is, but I guess there is some cause to overreact here. But let me know what type of videos you guys want for the Giants in the coming week, because as I said, there's a lot of off days here until next Monday against the Buccaneers at home. So I'm thinking the trade deadline soon. I could do like a trade video. I could put out like maybe a few trade scenarios that I could see happening. Maybe like what's wrong with the Giants right now, or just something basic like that, like what do the Giants need to fix to be a good team, and things like that. But I will say I think Joe Judge seems to be the right guy. I'm not 100% sure, but I've liked what I've seen so far. His attention to detail and things like that I've been a big fan of. The guys want to play hard for him, so I think there's been positive reviews on him so far. And while Jason Garrett's offense has been getting better, it's still not good. The Giants' offense is still not good. The Giants were like only source of offense, not the only, but a big part of the Giants offense is Daniel Jones trying to run the ball, which is fine because like he's very fast. I mean, he's been like one of the fastest guys according to Next Gen Stats this year. But at the same time, I kind of want to see them air the ball out more. I mean, I know they did it more this game as compared to other games, but at the same time, Jones has been pretty good on the deep ball this year. I feel like by the numbers, it's been pretty good when he's passing like beyond 10 yards or even 20 yards. So like keep doing it. But another thing, I'm kind of tired of these Evan Engram reverse plays. The Giants did it on the, I don't know if it was their final drive, second to last drive, like during the Engram drop drive. They tried to do a reverse to the Engram, even maybe the drive before that. I don't know, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. It was like a 4-yard loss on an Evan Engram end around, so maybe not do that play as much because teams probably know that's one of the go-to plays for the Giants when they need something to happen. So yeah, we'll see what type of comments you guys have for this video. Once again, let me know what videos you want me to do for this team in the future. Very tough loss tonight. As I said, I kind of wish I can forget about this. Hopefully I will at some point. The Giants can get Tampa Bay at home on Monday, I believe. They are a very good team. They are pretty legit. People had questions about Tampa Bay. Are they smoke and mirrors? Are they just, Tom Brady's too old, he's not good? But no. Tampa Bay is a pretty legit team, and their defense is really good. So the Giants offense, while they have a lot of time to plan for that game, will be up against a very tough defense. So watch out. And Tom Brady still gets the job done. And of course, Tampa Bay has some great receivers and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and Gronkowski. So Ronald Jones has been a pretty good running back this year for them. So it will not be easy, but hopefully the Giants find a way in that one. I will talk to you guys soon, hopefully. I'll try to make a video about possible trades or how I think the Giants can fix this team, but we will see. Thank you for watching. I am sorry we had to experience this loss tonight, but hopefully brighter days are on the horizon, and I'll talk to you guys next time.